హాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, వెల్కమ్ టు బీకేఆర్ అప్డేట్. ప్రతిసారి మరి కొత్త టాపిక్ తో మీ ముందుకు వస్తున్న బీకేఆర్ అప్డేట్ ఈసారి 3D ప్రింటింగ్ అప్డేట్ తో మీ ముందుకు వచ్చింది. మీరందరూ ఉచితంగా 3D ప్రింటింగ్ నేర్చుకోవాలి అనుకుంటున్నారా? అయితే మరి ఇంకెందుకు ఆలస్యం, ఈ రోజు నుండి మన ఛానల్ ద్వారా మీకు 3D ప్రింటింగ్ లెసన్స్ అప్లోడ్ చేయబడతాయి కంప్లీట్ వీడియోతో. ఈ వీడియోను ఫాలో అవ్వండి, 3D ప్రింటింగ్ కంప్లీట్ గా నేర్చుకోండి.
Thank you. So today we'll be discussing on what is 3D printing and why we need to learn this particular 3D printing concept, what are the applications of 3D printing and what are the materials used for this, and if time permits we'll be looking at practical demonstration followed with what are the latest technologies, and finally we will end up for query session. So this is how this session is planned for today. Now what is 3D printing? Many of us came across this particular word called as 3D printing. What exactly it is 3D printing is? Right, we do hear some other terminologies like rapid prototyping, additive manufacturing, robo casting, all are pretty same, right? They all fall under the same category of 3D printing. What exactly the definition of 3D printing is? As per the technical Wikipedia definition, a 3D printing or additive manufacturing is a construction of a three-dimensional object, and from that three-dimensional object, right, machine will perform a model in a layer-by-layer sequence, right? So it sounds a bit tough to read the definition and understanding the concept of 3D printing, but we'll explain the concept, right, in a different approach. Right, and along with that, this is not the latest technology, but it came into market right now with a high boom and like a hot cake, right? This 3D printing was there from 1980s itself. The first 3D printing into market in 1987 by 3D Systems, right? So what exactly the 3D printing process is? So there will be a 3D model, right? You need to create a 3D model, and from that 3D model you need to communicate to machine that I kept a model in you please kindly print it. From that it will print based on x, y, z axis, whatever the dimensions we have given. So to that aspect it will be printed. So this is what the exact process is. Now here, how the communication happens from here machine to this particular axis, and in what way we need to look, all these things we will discuss in detail right now. Now, modeling. What are the steps involved in 3D printing is? First one is modeling. First we need to create a prototype, a model, digital prototype. We call this as a 3D model, right? We have this 3D model, so that we need to send to this 3D printer, right? It will straight away print here, and finally you will be having an output like this. These are the steps involved. But how this particular 3D model will be printing on the system, right? A machine need to understand, so we need to communicate that in a machine language format. In other words, G codes, right? We have plenty of softwares available in market where this particular 3D model in STL format will be converted into G codes. So G code is the machine language where the machine will understand in terms of x, y, z direction, how much is the height, how much is the depth, and what way we need to do. All these things will be taken carefully. Now moving further, right, in what way exactly this particular 3D printing process will work? Now if you look at this particular object down here, we just discuss about this particular concept here, 3D modeling. It is not possible all the time that we need to create a model. We can't able to do. See, for instance, I take an example of my human bone. If I take a bone, it is not that much easy to design that bone using a particular software. That time we can scan the object to convert into STL format. We can scan the object like your CT scans, MRI scans, and plenty of scans are available in market. You can scan the data and produce into STL format. I will discuss what is STL later. There is one more process called as photogrammetry, where we'll be taking photos in all directions of that object and we'll try to convert into a STL format. So whichever the format you take, whether you are taking a digital format or a 3D model, or you take a scanner, or you go with photogrammetry concept, your end product needs to be in .stl format. Your end product need to be in .stl format. So what is this .stl? STL represents standard triangular language. STL represent standard triangular language. So what is the standard triangular language? Right, what it do is, your 3D model, whatever you have done, right, whatever the product you have done here, right, so this 3D model, right, you need to convert into a finite part where we can see what are the dimensions of this also. So this can be done with the help of triangular language, STL. Once it has been done STL, then it will send to, right, slicing software. What this slicing software do is, right, it will convert the STL file into G code format. What is G code is? See, this is how the coding is. 001, it needs to be at axis 000, 010, so it needs to go here. 030, it needs to move for a height of 40 mm, like this. In mission format, mission language understanding format, right, it will be sent, and then mission will understand the concept, and based on that material will be fed layer by layer like this. So this is what the complete concept of your working concept of your 3D printing. Now, if you're not pretty sure with the concept of 3D printing or the definition of 3D printing, let me bring an example, live example of you to make this understand in better way. You take your jalebi, right? We guys know jalebi having a dough. We will be having a cloth. In that cloth, we will be keeping our dough, right? The dough will be down here, and we will have a small pore or a small hole at this point. So when we apply pressure on the top of this particular area, so the dough will be coming straight away here, and it will be forming on the surface of your oil, and that is how the jalebi does. The same process is applicable for 3D printing as well. Now the main difference between your this process and that is, when the dough is touching oil surface, it is flattening up, right? That means the layer is not building up again. As it is in liquid form, it can't make layer by layer format. But whereas in your FDM process, that is the fuse deposit molding, what happened down here is the layer is on one another. That means layer is moving one on the other top. How it happens is, when the layer touching the surface of bed, immediately it gets solidified. Then only you can add second layer on it. So this particular process, layer by layer process, is what your 3D printing is. Right, you take one more example of your cone, right? The cones which we use for mehendi, right? Now the same process applies here, right? You will be applying a pressure, so the material moving out from that nozzle. But again, the material down here, what you are using is important in a 3D printing process. We need to use the material that solidifies immediately, right, after it touches the bed. So that particular materials we need to choose, and that is the difference between your this dough process and your 3D printing process, right? Hope you understand the concept of 3D printing here. So what are the different 3D printers are available in market? So there are totally 7 different varieties of 3D printer are there. So right now down here, what you observe down here, it is fuse deposit molding. That means material is fused and applied layer by layer concept. That is what fuse deposit molding. And many of the centers and many of the educational institutes, they are trying to implement this because it is cheap and also it is very effective in using. Right, when it comes to the industrial parameters like selective laser sintering, right, you have stereolithography, all these are there. So I have a small video down here, you can observe that. So it is a selective laser sintering, so where a laser will be engraving on the powder. what is the dimension of it, right? Then again a layer comes up on the top of it. So this particular sequence will be there. You can observe that layer by layer the particular laser beam is touching up, right? Then we have another one which is called as stereolithography, SLA, right? Again you can see it is in liquid resin, it is not powder. You can observe there are different forms. This one is in powder format and this one is in liquid form, right? So based on that particular nature or type, these are categorized to 7 parameters or 7 different types. First one is selective laser sintering, next is fused deposit molding, stereolithography, digital light processing, then selective laser melting, laminated object manufacturing, and digital beam melting. These are the different types of 3D printing technologies are there. Moving further, I want to discuss why we need to go for 3D printing. If you take a general manufacturing, how I will take an example of gear, right? Gear is the best choice for me, so I have chosen gear. So I want to explain and I want to show the difference of your conventional manufacturing process and 3D printing process. Now, in order to manufacture a gear, right, there is a video down here. I'm playing the video right now. You can observe here. Sir, can you able to visualize the video, sir?
Yes, we are able to see that.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for confirming, sir. So we will be having a shaft, right? The shaft, right, we will be for the required dimension we are cutting into pieces. Then we are doing a facing and turning operation on this. So it is not much needed for all to know. I'm just demonstrating the difference between 3D printing and your normal manufacturing. Just understand in that point of view, no need to be a mechanical engineer or no need to be understanding the concept of this particular part. Now what's happening exactly down here is the material is being removed, right? That is what subtractive manufacturing, right? The material is being removed with the different tools and different operations. When it does, right, you are wasting your money on removing material, you are wasting your time for removing materials, right? And it is costing you a lot. These are the things which you need to focus exactly here, right? There are plenty of operations will be performing on a particular object. See, for instance, right now we have cleaned the complete area and we are making holes on it. Then we will be going for hobbing process. That means we are gear cutting. We will be going for gear cutting process. So like this, slotting. So it takes a lot of time, right? And if the same gear need to be manufactured in 3D printing, so what I will be doing is, first I will be designing it straight away. So the gear will be straight away designed in a software, right? I will be converting into STL format and I will be giving to machine to print. So this is how the machine will print straight away, right? You can observe on the screen that the gear is printing straight away. So now what happened here? We are not removing any material. We are not wasting our money or time on removing the things. We are just adding up layer by layer. That is it. So here we can say 0% or negligible amount of waste will be generated down here. And that is what the beauty in 3D manufacturing or 3D printing. So that is the reason most of the industries are trying to implement this concept instead of going for removing of materials. Not all the things or not all the components can be generated, or it is very hard to shift straight away, but companies are started doing it. So I'm just showing a sample of 3D printing. This is the Creality Ender 3D machine, which is available for 16,000 rupees in market, right? You can check in Amazon, right? It is very simple to use, right? It is 16,000 rupees. See, this is how it look like. You will be having a frame. So these are called as frames. You are having material down at the back end. The material will be coming into nozzle like this. And at this point, this particular material will be heated to its melting point. And it will be printing layer by layer based on the program which you given. And that is how you will be getting object. Right, this particular small box down here, we call that as CPU for this particular box. Here you will be inserting your memory card whichever you have converted into G code, that you will be bringing and inserting here, and from here the machine will read and print the object. And in order to monitor or in order to understand what happens exactly, you have a screen down here. You can observe here on the screen, you can observe everything. Now there are two things here, right? First one is material, second one is bed. So this is what this black area what you are seeing right now is called as bed, right? What happened is here I want to explain two parameters. So first one is bed. So the black area what you are seeing right now is what bed is. The second one is this particular nozzle. These are the two important parameters or the two areas where you need to maintain temperature. Temperature is very important in this particular parameter. So once the material is being diffused from this particular nozzle, right, when it touches, immediately need to get solidified. So if it gets immediate solidifies, then you will be having some cracks on the object. So in order to avoid that particular things, right, this bed will be having its own temperature. Like you will be having some for material to material it will vary. As a standard 60 to 80 will be maintained for bed temperature. So 60 degrees temperature will be maintained on this bed, and when it touches down here, right, layer by layer you can apply. So this is what the exact concept of your 3D printing. Now not all the time it is possible for us to buy the machine straight away. We have some alternatives in market right now for kids especially. There are some 3D pens are in market, right? You can check out here on the screen, right? I'm playing a video for 3D pen. What are the benefits? You can put this in the educational parameter syllabus also, right, where the concept of drawing you can change it by applying this particular concept. You have a pen down here. This is how the pen looks like. Now these are different types of materials available. All are PLA only. PLA, right, is the material used for it. Now I have taken a drawing sheet, right? This is how the drawing sheet is. On the top of drawing sheet, I'll be printing these materials. How? First I need to charge it, right? Ensure that you are heating it. So once it turn on your green light, that means it is ready to diffuse material. Now you need to insert the material. So the tip of this particular point, right, will be melting that particular material. So like this. So now this material can be fed layer by layer. So this process is what called as fuse deposit molding, right? You can see observe. Now once it has been done, now you can fill inside with different colors if you want. You can check out. Now you can peel them easily. So the same sheet you can give it to someone else to do the same thing. So this particular process you can do in your schools, right? 3D printing, we can bring the creativeness in students. Now all these individual parts you can join with the help of again PLA. That means you will be joining with the help of material only, so that you will be having aeroplane in front of you. So the student will understand, okay, these are the different parts involved in construction of this particular thing. Like this sort of awareness we can bring with the help of your 3D printing. It will change the way we are thinking and we are using. You can attach wheels and you can attach the front panel so that the aeroplane is easy. But it is not that much easy, right? You need to have a lot of practice in order to use that, right? This 3D printing cost you around 2000 rupees I think, right? And also 1500 some 3D pens are available in Amazon, right? You can print any of the stuff of your own choice. You can see this is also printed with the help of 3D pen, right? I have collected this video from YouTube, so you can check out how they are using the 3D pen. Not only this, right, with this 3D pen plenty of people are using in different parameters. You can observe down here a lot, right? There are plenty of things around that, right? Moving further, what are the applications and which are all the areas this 3D printing is changing the whole, right? You can take any of the area like medical parameters, or you can take food industry, or you take game industry. Anywhere you take, 3D printing is changing the field there, right? Especially if you take medical area, this bioimplants, right? Bioimplants or artificial prosthetics, right? Dental prosthetics or dental implants, all these things are doing with the help of 3D printing right now in the market. It's having high boom right now in medical aspects. And food customized chocolates is one which Dairy Milk they started with the name. If you want to gift anyone, right, you can customize your chocolate with that name and you can print it. Not only that, you can print pizzas. I mean, in London there is one a coffee shop. They started printing their faces and everything with the help of 3D printing coffee like that. And coming to the gaming sectors, you have plenty of changes right now. I will show you one. The next slide is talking about gaming parameter, and plenty of do-it-yourself things. Like if I have an idea, I can do it my own, right? No need to go for buying the things like earlier. We used to buy all the individual items, and it cost us a lot. But instead of buying all those things, you can just do with the help of your 3D printing itself. Right, in fashion especially, right, you can take fashion parameters, you can take space, defense, all areas. You can observe that this 3D printing is changing the whole, right? I just want to give a practical or the scenario where the gaming industry is using this 3D printing, right? A movie named as Pirate, right? A movie named as Pirate, right, where the Sony Pictures, they have used this 3D printing to create characters. The characters which you are seeing right now, they're all 3D printed, right? And based on this, they have created that movie, right? Not only that, you take the lunar based 3D print, right? On moon, actually, we can't take any material. We are not pretty sure which material will work, right? These people, ESA, that is European Space Agency, what they did is they collected the material which is available there itself, and with that they constructed this process. This is done with the help of your 3D printing only. They implemented this concept, right? Lunar soil, you can check out by typing 3D printed lunar base in YouTube. You will be having that video where this is what the 3D printer robot, right? You can check out at this corner. What it does is it will be collecting all the material and it will be printing layer by layer like this. This is what the output which is been generated, right? Now then moving ahead, right, coming to the fashion area, Iris Van, right, she is having a thought that she want to have tree roots as a shoe, right, to change the design of shoe. She is bored with all the shoe what she was wearing, but she want to have something new. And she approached Rem, right? He suggested this 3D printing process, and there they both changed the thought of that particular shoe, and they made that a tree oriented shoe, tree roots, right? How the roots will be, the same way the shoe will be. So that is how. And as I said already, this is chocolate cup, right? In this the coffee will be there, coffee will be poured, and after finishing of coffee they will be eating this chocolate. This is how the sector is being changed. Then do it yourself projects, or you can say if you want to demonstrate your house plan to someone, how exactly it looks like, you can design that house in one area and you just print it. Now you can look in YouTube that there are plenty of houses right now they are constructing with the help of 3D printing, right? I think I do have one video. If time permits, I will show you that, right? Then you can do anything of your choice, right? You need to change the material, right? You can verify and validate the products which you are using, right? You can check out all these aspects. And especially coming to casting parameters, see, normally casting is one area where the manufacturing depends completely on, right? I will give an example for especially in Vinayak Choti, right? They used to have some mold, I mean that Vinayaka idol will be there, which is engraved on a particular metal. Then this particular mud, whatever they are having, they will be hitting on the top of it and they will be taking out, and to that they will be dressing up. The same process, right? Where in casting also the same, you will be keeping the thing which is required, right? The preparing these will take you long while, and also it costs a lot for us. Now these things can be produced easily with the help of your 3D printing concept, and especially in jewelry, right? 3D printing is knocking like anything, right? Plenty of designs are coming to market where they are not available anywhere, or not by human, they can't design it, but those also can be in other words complex shapes, right? These shapes are done with the help of 3D printing. Plenty of shapes are coming into market with different varieties, right? So 3D printing is changing it. And one other is reverse engineering. 3D printing is also used, right? What is this reverse engineering is, I have a, I have this particular idol, or I have some decor is there, I want to reproduce the same, right? For that I can use this particular concept. I'll show you a demonstration for that. As I already discussed, 3D printing in medical sector especially, you consider this was took place, right, in Emerald, right? You can check out here, right? This missing area is been replaced with the 3D printed part, right? You can check out that. And along with that, not only these, right, all your implants, bone implants, like if you want to reproduce your bone, or especially right now the problem which many of us are facing is spinal problems, right? Because of the washers, that disc degeneration, right? Many of the people are falling sick. Earlier they used to do this process where they will be removing a bone from thigh, and they will be attaching to bone. Now no need to do those aspects. Straight away they can customize, they can take the CT scan of your bone, spinal cord, and they can especially focus on particular area where they want to replace. They can get the dimensions and they can replace it by printing. And the main important parameter down here is the material which you are choosing needs to be biocompatible. That means when you are inserting into body, ensure that it is not giving any reaction. Those materials need to be looked out. So we will be talking much about materials, right? Moving further, right? This is a 3D printed jar, right? These also are possible. Not only that, plenty of things, right? Finally, to conclude, whatever you want, right, you design it, then you can get it print. You can change of your own choice. You have freedom in design, right? You can do with any sort of design. Earlier, if you want to produce any chair of this size or this way, manufacturer used to say, no, we need to create molds for this, we can't do it, it gives us a lot of time, we are not pretty sure with the output. All these questions was there. Now with the help of this 3D printing process, make just like that, right? And also you have freedom in any aspect, not only in one aspect. You see, geometric freedom in all aspects. You can check out, you can design your mobile cases with the help of 3D printing, right? You can check out this also. And altogether it is changing market. That is what I just want to say. Having these many advantages, there are certain limitations also there. What are the limitations are? Cost parameters we need to think of. We need to think about the system what is the size of the machine which we need to buy. See, if you are buying something like SLS or anything, it goes in lakhs, right? Cost is one major parameter which we need to check out. And accuracy parameter, if you are going with small missions or general items, we can't expect the accuracy, and also finishing. And strength, it is very important which material you are choosing. And finally, material options. So coming to materials in 3D printing, especially the common material right now many of us using is PLA. PLA is the material which many of the industries are using. Along with that, we have ABS, HIPS, nylon, ceramic, and plenty are there, right? And we have one material called as flexible, where it gives some sort of flexibility in the material. And it is also some materials are there which are helpful for textile industry as well. So what are the different materials right now they are using? Not all materials are easy, to convert into 3D printing format like iron. We can't do that, right? In order to do that, we need to add up many parameters, right? In 3D printing, material options for 3D printing, we have different materials in metallic like carbon steel, tool steel, stainless steel, aluminum, copper. All these things we can produce with the help of 3D printing. And along with that, we have materials like sand, ceramic are also available in market. And as I said, in medical applications, you have biocompatible materials. PCL is a biocompatible material, right, which you can use for bioimplants, right? Peak, you can do it, and plenty of research is taking place in these particular areas to identify which material is biocompatible and on what basis you can generate, right? These are the materials which are available in market, and there are plenty are available where research is going on in those material parameters. Now I just want to give a practical demonstration here. This is how you can see how the specifications are declared. The 3D printer used is Ultimate Cura 2, Ultimaker 2. The material used is PLA. Bed temperature is 75, nozzle temperature is 210. Right? Then they started printing it. You can check out how a material is being fed on the top of one to one, right? Like layer by layer process. You can say toys industry, right? One of such kind you can see. You can see the output how it will be. So this is how it will be. You can polish it. I mean, you can just apply colors and you can change all these things. This is how one thing. And I was telling you about photogrammetry, and this is one. This one is a recent one which I did myself, right? You can check out. I took photos of different directions and obtained a 3D model like this. Right, you please understand how we are using the technology. Don't think that we are showing the models or something. How we are applying the concept is what important. Now once it is been kept, right, we exported this particular model into Cura software. Ultimaker Cura is the software which converts this STL format or OBJ into G codes, right? We used to use that. Then once it is done, right, you can check out, right, imported into Cura software, and I just sliced it. That means a layer by layer it will be first programming itself how this object is. Now in that software itself, you can just highlight. I'm just highlighting down here, right? You can check out that this, in order to print this particular object, it is taking me 31 minutes and it requires 2 grams, nearly 0.8 meters of material is needed. So how much material is needed, what time I need to print it, how much time it will take, everything will be given by this particular software, not this software. There are plenty of softwares available in market, but one of the best, right, we can say is Ultimate Cura, which is freeware. You can use it and you can generate the number. Now this you will be saving into file, right? Once you save into file, that means into your pen drive or memory card. So you will be inserting down here. You can see there is a slot down here at this area. You can check out that there is a slot, right? You need to insert that memory card and just give a print. When you give print, this is how it will be, a layer by layer. This is the actual printing. You can check out how the machine is moving and everything. And finally you can see on the left side you have the output, and that is what exactly the model which I shown you earlier. And I want to show one Lamberg University. I got this from YouTube.
It takes up a fraction of.
You can check out.
Translating it into triangles.
Right, first they designed it. This is the dimension of missions, right? 250 mm height, right? So first they designed the model which they want, right? They designed it, then they imported into Cura software, right? Now they sliced it, you see they kept this SD card and they given print. Once they print the material, this is how exactly the process takes place. So the material is here, material will be lying down here, the material will be coming through this particular nozzle. Here heating element will be there, which will be heating to that particular temperature of material. See, for instance, the melting point, that particular temperature is 150. To that degrees temperature, it will be heated. So the material will start molten. I mean that that layer form will be coming out from the nozzle. So it will be forming on layer by layer process. This is how exactly it will happen. So once it is done, these are called supporting materials. So in order to avoid damages for your original object, you can create some support, right? These are the support which is not touching the base, right? These support you can remove and the final object is here. So this is how the 3D printing you can do. Don't think that many of the schools or colleges not aware about it. So I got this video again from YouTube. The 7th class guy in the Dwarka school, I think, right? They already trying to implement this concept 3D printing in their real classes. They are trying to print the objects whichever their choices are and whatever they want, right? And what my request is, please try and kindly educate your family members or the kids of your respective neighbors, right? Bring awareness of this 3D printing concept, right? And make them understand the importance so that they can bring some sort of creative thoughts and change the world. That is what the main intention behind this particular demo session. And along with this, there are some other latest technologies in market. 3D molding is not the latest technology, but in order to do 3D printing, you must know the basics of 3D modeling. Don't think that it is an extreme area. Everyone can learn the 3D modeling. And the next one is photogrammetry. You have AR, VR. Right now, AR, VR is booming like anything, right? And we have design thinking and innovation is one approach where you can do all these things. So especially for entrepreneurs, school teachers, and also employees and those people who want to start up their own business and all, 3D printing is a good choice for all of them. Right? You can create wonders. You can show a lot of a change in the real world or the aspects which we are using. And I just want to end up the session saying thank you for all, and sorry for the disturbance caused during the starting of the session. I appreciate your patience in listening, and if you have any doubts or any questions you want to ask, please kindly post in chat box, so we will discuss those. And once it is done, I will be sending you this particular link in chat box. If you want certificate for participation, you please kindly fill this box and you will be getting certificate, right? Right, the session is open for discussion, sir. If you want to ask anything, you please unmute yourself and talk, sir. And if you want to say anything, or if you want to communicate, or if you already having this experience in 3D printing, you can share your knowledge. Good question from Sri Hari. Which software is to be used to design the parts? There are plenty of softwares available in market, right? The one of such kind is Thinkercad. If you want, you please check out this freeware. It is free to use for everyone. Thinkercad, no need to have big requirements. Like if you are taking any 3D modeling software, right? You need to have a minimum RAM and something like that. But this Thinkercad, you need to just log in. That's it. You can do miracles, right? This is one good source, right? Thinkercad is a good source. of creating designs. You can just verify it, and advanced to this, right? If you want to create some exceptional parts like complex shapes you want to do, Fusion 360 is a good one. And apart from that, you have Catia, SolidWorks. There are plenty of softwares available in market, right? You just need to sign in and do things. You can start anything like this. All students can use this, right? And sir, what would be the cheap and best 3D printer for FDM? Karthik Rao. Yes. The cheap and best, sir, to my knowledge, Creality is the best one, sir, because we did used it, and based on our experience, we are saying that Creality Ender 3D, I think it is there for 16,000 something. That is my choice. Actually, it is very easy to use, and release T, can you write it here? I just given you link for Tinkercad. Please click on it and you can try using it. Sorry, any other things you want to ask? mbit@gmail.com. Sir, Karthik sir, what details you want, sir? Like how the price, I mean, how the machine is, or what is the price of machine, like these details, or about the session details? I just want to get clarity in that. Okay, fine, sir. I will send you to your Gmail IDs. Srihari, to create a G code of the product, we need to just transfer the image to Ultimate software, right? Yeah. Srihari, it is not that we need to use a software called as Ultimaker Cura, right? I will be showing that. Sir, can you able to see my screen, Ultimaker Cura?
Yes, sir. Right now we are able to see.
This Ultimaker Cura is there, sir. This is how the Cura software is. Once your 3D model is ready, you need to just import here. So this particular box, what you are seeing right now, is the size of mission, right? More than this, it can't print. So these dimensions only need to create an object. Once you are done, this will be saying that okay, this particular object, in order to print, it will take this much time, and this much material is required. And you can adjust all these material temperatures, which way you want to print, all these things in your standard quality area here. So you have plenty of options down here. In detail we can discuss right in coming sessions if time permits, right? There's a lot of things we need to learn in 3D printing, sir. It is not that much easy. Only in infill area itself we can spend a lot of time. There are a number of infill areas, like you have cubic, hexagon, and grid lines. All these things are there. Based on the selection, you will be having the strength of object will be varied. So all these things are there. Just want to give a demo in this particular aspect, so that is the reason we just touched up all these aspects. Right. Can you suggest me how a business can be developed through 3D printing? I mean, how to approach small scale industries and get business? Sir, to my knowledge, sir, we can do in two areas, sir. Especially for schools, if you take that schools, you can give training to them, or instead of going for training, say especially in schools, they used to have these biological features like a heart, hand, face, all these things you can print straight away. No need to design. I want to show one more thing, right? We have Thingiverse. There's a website called as Thingiverse, and there are plenty of other websites available where a 3D model you can straight away download it. Instead of designing it, you can download it, right? So that particular download file which you are having, you can print it, and you can give it to the schools and colleges, and you can do good business. And apart from that, you need to have a good contact or network, sir. If you want to give it to industry, they will suggest us what is the requirement of them, what finish they want, and based on that we need to buy mission. If you are buying a mission of 16,000 and we want to produce to industries, maybe that not a good idea. So based on requirement you can produce, sir. And the main problem with 3D printing right now is the printing time. So if a small component need to be printed, it is taking a lot of time, right? For that reason we have dual nozzle 3D printers are available in market, and also 5-axis printers are available in market. They are trying to bring some change in market. But right now, for a business point of view, you can print any of these models and you can sell them, or you can give it to schools, colleges, and training purpose you can use, and all these things you can do with the help of this 3D printing process. This Srihari, yes, this software can be used with any type of 3D printer. Yes, see, actually, Creality Ender 3D is the machine which I shown you earlier. Creality is having its own software for converting this the STL format into G codes. But this Ultimaker Cura is the common platform which we can use for any software, and it is very easy to use also. That is the reason we are using that. Anything else, or any questions or queries from the participants? So please do share your experience, or if you want to talk anything, you can kindly please unmute yourself and talk, sir. And firstly, I need to thank all the participants for your patience, sir. Actually, there was a technical glitch during starting of the session, because I already went on halfway of the session, and I realized one of my friend was saying that the session was not started. So again, I disconnected all these things and I did so. So that is where the time went wrong. Can you comment on developing of 3D printer by our own? Yes, you can do. These parts which you are seeing right now, they are available in market, right? You can just buy them and you can assemble it. Right? There are plenty of videos available in YouTube where how you need to assemble all those parts and everything. You can do it. Yes. Yeah, plenty of procedures are available in online. Yes, Karthik sir. Yeah. So, sorry, any other comments or anything you want to please communicate? Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that's all for today, sir. Thank you all, and sorry for the technical parameters. So we'll try to make it better in the next aspects. Thank you all for today, sir, for your participation.